Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It is Monday evening. I have my car back. The fabulous man at the garage. We dropped it off last night. He looked at it this morning and before lunchtime he had already worked out what the problem was, told me it was small and it was already fixed. Happy, happy bunny am I. So that's me. I will have a car with a heater. The other thing today that seems to have been big news here in the UK is that the Chancellor has done a speech thing, and she's done a lot of stuff in it. But something that I have noted is that she's said they're going to start this new thing for young people, what they call NEETs, not in education or employment, or training, that's the T. And what they're going to do is, if there is a young adult who is claiming unemployment benefit, they are going to be forced, or maybe not forced, encouraged to accept whatever job opportunity they are given. And if they don't, then there can be sanctions on their benefits, etc. Now, don't get me wrong, I think there's way too many young people unemployed just now. However, it reminds me of a scheme that they did decades ago. I don't know who was in charge at the time, but it was called the YOP scheme, Youth Opportunity Scheme. And the people who were on it were YOPers. And I saw that when I was at college and I was working in hotels at the time. And the hotels had a great time with that because they would get all these kids in for much cheapness. And the kids would work there for 6 months in the hope that they would get kept on. And so many of the companies, and this wasn't just in the hospitality industry, this was in other industries as well that I knew of through friends. I mean, so many of the industries had no intention of keeping these people on. They just wanted the government money and bodies. So it really wasn't a help. I mean, I think out of the hotel I was working in when I was at college was a pretty big hotel, and I would say out of about 60 yoppers, young people coming in, they kept 2, 3. That was all. And I mean, it was soul destroying because they were treated like rubbish. They were just there to do the grunt work. And that's what I can see happening with this new scheme. That, young people will get put into situations where the company that's bringing them in doesn't really care about the future of the young person. It just cares about getting a body to move stuff from A to B or to sit and answer a phone or whatever. So we'll see how it goes. I would be pleased if it wasn't that, because I do think that there's a lot of young people who struggle with some of the expectations that some companies have. I think the world of work has changed. I think the way education has changed has not helped. So yeah, as I say, it will be interesting to see what happens with that, whether it does actually benefit young people or not. I do hope it does, because I really would hate to see another reincarnation of that YOP scheme. That really wasn't fair on the people taking part, I don't think. So yeah, that's my logic for today. So I'm off now to go make myself a nice hot cup of tea, because it is cold. I have the wood burner on. And yes, someone who had asked about what wood I burn, I am not in an area where it is as restricted as yours is. That fence has been lying in my garden for over a year. It's now in the wood pile, seasoning, drying out, doing its thing. Well, it's in one half of the wood pile. The other half has got stuff, the logs that I bought last year, and some other stuff that's been sitting there seasoning for quite some time. So yeah, we're pretty much ready for the winter, which I'm very glad of because, as I say, the wood burner has been lit today. Because when Kathleen and I walked in after picking up my car, it was very cold in this house. And as I've said before, probably on multiple occasions, I'm quite conscious of, I don't want the fabric of the house to get really cold and then get heated up. I'd rather keep it at a not freezing sort of thing. So that's where we are with that. So now, as I say, I'm going to go and have a cup of tea and I will catch you later.